All right, we have some technical difficulties there. We are supposed to be joining NBC News for a special report. They're going to have an update on Hurricane Idalia, so we've been waiting for that. Apologize as I was taking a sip there during break, anticipating that. But yes, we're waiting for an NBC special news report. But while we're waiting for that, why don't we continue on with Coast TV News today? And we did see some of that strong storm surge in Florida. They are waiting for that impact of Hurricane Idalia.
Yeah, we've been covering it all week too. These effects of Idalia, of even though hundreds of miles off the coast, like you mentioned, feeling the effects here. Why don't we send things over to Bob right now to talk a little bit about more local weather before we talk more about these hurricanes.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Bob Try, he joins us now. Good morning, Bob.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, we're dealing with both dangerous Idalia, which is now making landfall in Florida, and then Franklin off the coast. So it's one storm that is pounding a landmass and another one that is moving offshore. Closer to home, you can see we're seeing some clearing, but don't be deceived by that because I think we're seeing some areas of dense fog as well. We're also seeing some showers around the eastern shore of Maryland up into the Dover area. As a cold front is back to our west, out ahead of it, we're seeing some of those showers, spotty showers around the Cambridge area. And that's going to be the case as we go through the morning hours. You can see some of these showers out ahead of a cold front. Then offshore, it's Hurricane Franklin packing winds of 110, and it continues to move to the north and east. And we're going to be feeling the indirect effects of Franklin with higher waves and rip currents. Temperatures are in the 70s. We've got light winds right now. And here is Futurecast this morning. Could see a spotty shower. Watch out for some of the dense fog. Temperatures into the 70s. And then I think we do warm into the 80s this afternoon as a cold front moves through. Might see a spot shower. Otherwise, we go into the afternoon with mostly cloudy skies. Today's checklist: umbrella, raincoat, throw them in the car just in case. And the flip-flops and summer clothes good to have. And keep the sunglasses handy and the sunscreen too. I'll have much more an update on the tropics coming up and your holiday weekend forecast as well.
Okay, it's a lot, Bob. Okay, so now I think we're back ready to join NBC News. They have breaking news coverage. They're going to cut in and give us an update on the situation in Florida. They're about to get hit with Hurricane Idalia. So are we ready? I'm flying by the seat of our pants here. So
Whether you're looking for the perfect vacation getaway or your forever home, call the Leanne Wilkinson Group today and get your coastal lifestyle started. The Leanne Wilkinson Group in Lewis, Delaware is a proud affiliate of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services PenFed Realty.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Artists like you make our show special.
I would love you to be on my team.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst accent.
You're the science guy.
That's Bill Nye. I'm actually the behavioral science guy. Are you familiar with predictable irrationality? Paradoxical persuasion. Bereavement sex.
That's a thing.
Nothing irrational about that.
A summer to remember starts at Tyndall's Casual Furniture. Right now, during the Tyndall's Sizzling Summer Sales Event, enjoy huge savings on quality furniture with the season's biggest discounts. Shop the best value and largest selections of industry-leading manufacturers like Casual Comfort, Telescope Casual, Jensen Outdoor, and Northgate. So visit Tyndall's Casual Furniture in Laurel or Lewis and don't miss the Sizzling Summer Sales Event going on now. We can't wait to help you create the outdoor oasis you've always wanted. Tyndall's Casual Furniture, Delmarva's outdoor furniture experts.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Coastal Delaware continues to prove to be a year-round destination. We're here to help you navigate our changing real estate market. In times like these, experience matters. The Leanne Wilkinson Group in Lewis, Delaware is a proud affiliate of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services PenFed Realty.
And welcome back as we continue on our second hour of Coast TV News Today. Tonight, one of the fastest growing towns in the state is taking a look at how to manage its development over the next decade. This is through its comprehensive development plan.
The town of Millsboro has a growing identity. It's just miles from the Delaware beaches and growing as a year-round community. Coast TV News reporter Heidi Kirk is live in Millsboro. And Heidi, the comprehensive development plan is a roadmap for a future of growth.
Matt and Paige, some people call Millsboro the heart of Sussex County. I'm here in the downtown district right now, and it actually has a lot to offer. Lots of local businesses and development on either side. It's growing by about 10% every year. Go ahead and take a look at your screens. You're going to see some footage that we've shot throughout town over the last few days. As you can see, there's a lot going on here. A vibrant downtown district, many businesses, and development popping up in every which way. The Comprehensive Development Plan is a document released every 10 years that serves as a roadmap for how to grow successfully. The town is halfway through its current 10-year plan, and some of the areas the town is currently working on are improving traffic, walkability, and green space. And it says some of its strengths right now are strong leadership, a growing number of workers, and low crime. And now, Matt and Paige, tonight is your opportunity to get involved. So for anyone who wants to attend that open house, it's going to be tonight starting at 6 p.m. at the Millsboro Town Hall. And we have information on how you can get involved on our website, WRDE.com. Back to you.
All right, Heidi Kirk, live in Millsboro. Thank you for that. We have an update on that tragic crash that took place over the weekend in Georgetown. We now know the name of the young woman who died.
Yeah, that's right. This crash, really tragic. According to Delaware State Police, 18-year-old Griselda Ramirez Chilel was the victim. I mean, just take a look at these horrific pictures on your screen right now from that crash. That happened around 11:30 a.m. It was on DuPont Boulevard, south of West Robbins Road in Georgetown. And again, police say Ramirez Chilel, she was in the front passenger seat of that Mazda, driven by a 39-year-old woman.
According to troopers, the driver swerved, drove through the center median, and crashed into another car. Police say the 18-year-old was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. That's where she later died. And behind her in the car was a 4-year-old boy, who also had serious injuries. the people in the other car, they're expected to be okay.
The Selbyville Town Park project is moving ahead with phase 2 of its plans. The town announcing that bid invitations are now open for construction companies to submit. Plans for the park include pickleball courts, a play area, and a softball field. Bids can be sent to Town Hall, and they will be accepted until 2 p.m. Monday, September 25th.
It's an effort to find one specific type of dog, Forever Homes, and it's an effort that's really been struggling of late. Greyhound Pet Adoptions Delaware has seen the amount of dogs adopted go down in the past few years. The group is not entirely sure what exactly is causing the drop. There is concern about a lack of community outreach during the pandemic. The organization says greyhounds need that exposure as they're just not a common breed.
You never can get a greyhound from a breeder because they're all bred to race. And greyhounds never end up in shelters because in our contract, we say, if you can't keep this dog, you return it to the group. So, they come back to us. So
the organization says greyhound racing tracks are legal in every state except Idaho. There are no greyhound tracks around here, none in Delaware, none on the Eastern Shore. The closest one to Delmarva is in West Virginia.
14 dogs were rescued from a parked SUV in Rehoboth Beach on Friday.
Animal welfare officers say their owners, Dylan Hensey and his wife, Chelsea Puckett, have been living in an SUV with some of the dogs amongst trash, feces, and debris.
Yeah, we're going to show you some of those dogs. There's a 5-month-old dog, Randall Cunningham. Take a look at him. The group of 14 dogs are all named after previous Eagles players. You may remember all of the 30-plus dogs that also had Eagles-related names. And just like those others, these 14 are considered small dogs.
And the Brandywine Valley SPCA says the oldest, maybe 4 or 5 years old, some of the dogs had cherry eye and they required medical treatment. They've been spayed and neutered, and now, soon, they'll be ready for loving families to take them in.
Little dogs do not do well in shelters. They do tend to be a little more fearful in an environment like this. They've been through so much already. We don't know what went on in that home. I was personally there on the 8th. I saw the conditions. It was one of the worst I've seen, and I've been doing this a long time.
And the Brandywine Valley SPCA says some of those dogs will be available for adoption as soon as today when the Animal Rescue Center opens at noon. Now, we want to make sure you know that's the location on Shingle Point Road in Georgetown, not the location on 113. Meanwhile, the Office of Animal Welfare says Hensey and his wife are not allowed to have any more animals pending the outcome of this case.
Well, Paige, you and I have been talking about this, it seems like, for the last few weeks. But hey, summer's almost gone. We know it. That means the annual flu bug will once again rear its ugly head. Also have to look out for 2 other viruses. COVID and RSV, they're also expected to circulate through the air.
Yeah, definitely. But for the first time ever, some good news. Vaccines for all 3 will be available. John Lawrence shows us what experts recommend to stay healthy this season.
A trifecta of infections are ready to potentially cause havoc with your health.
We see changing patterns of people going back to school, people being indoors in close proximity to each other. And that is usually what kicks off respiratory virus season.
RSV, influenza, and COVID-19 are expected to circulate in the U.S. over the next few months, and a senior White House official says COVID-19 will likely have the biggest impact.
We've never gotten to 0. The hospital admissions have never gone to 0. Now we're living in a bit of a fantasy world where we're pretending that COVID is not relevant.
An updated COVID vaccine is expected next month, and shots for the flu and RSV are already available.
If you look at the country as a whole, you look at the map of the country and look at the CDC recommendations, most of the country is considered low risk.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says in addition to getting vaccinated, people should also try early testing, improving ventilation systems, and in some cases, mask wearing.
In general, if you're not feeling well, if you're sick, the best thing to do is to avoid contact with other people if you can, and in particular, people who are vulnerable.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The White House says an updated COVID vaccine is important because immunity eventually weakens, and updated variants, they find ways to sneak around immunity from previous vaccinations or infections.
We'll have plenty more news to get to this morning on Coast TV News Today.
Paige, coming up, we are continuing our coverage of those intense storms off the East Coast. Hurricane Franklin and Idalia With Idalia getting closer and closer to Florida, the effects that will be felt here along our coast.
Also, the blood bank of Delmarva is struggling to keep up with demand. What solution they say they'll try to remedy this problem.
And U.S. financial regulators signing off on new rules to prepare for possible bank failures. Safeguards put in place to prevent the country from financial ruin. And more when Coast TV News Today continues.
McDonald's, Telemundo Delmarva 42, Pohanka of Salisbury, Lupton Mall, and the Voice Radio Network presents the Hispanic Festival 2023. Join us to celebrate the Latin American traditions, culture, dances, art, Latin American food, kids entertainment, 7 international artists, and the biggest taco festival in Georgetown. Sunday, September 17th at noon on Ray Street in Georgetown. Tickets are $15 and kids under 10 get in free. Sponsored by
Sam Calagione from Dogfish Head here, inviting you to join us in downtown Rehoboth Beach at our brew pub, Brewings and Eats, and at our seafood and cocktail spot, Chesapeake and Maine. Grab a brew pub exclusive on the patio and indulge in a wood-fired burger or pizza, or enjoy an inventive cocktail with fresh seafood from our raw bar. Come visit Dogfish Head in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Cheers.
At Accurate Termite and Pest Control, our goal is to stop pests before they enter your home. With almost 3 decades of service on the shore, we can treat any pest problem quickly with successful results. Our professional pest management program includes year-round treatments and an annual termite inspection, so you can be confident that Accurate has your home covered. Your pests are our priority, so if they return between treatments, so do we, for free. Give us a call today to prevent or treat all of your pest problems. Accurate Termite and Pest Control, on target since 1995.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Allergies aren't fun for anyone, especially when they work their way into your home. A professional air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer can dramatically improve indoor air quality and significantly reduce indoor allergens. Installing our whole home purification system Restore will even help prevent the spread of airborne viruses and bacteria. If you want to significantly reduce allergy triggers in your home, call or go online to book a free inspection today.
It is 6:22 on this foggy Wednesday morning. Tidal Health Cam, Seaford. Yeah, you're kind of socked in with the fog. Use the low beam headlights. It's even thicker in Maryland, 2 miles in Salisbury, 1.5 miles in Ocean City, and it's mild and muggy. It's in the 70s out the door, and we've got mostly cloudy skies and some showers across the eastern shore of Maryland. Up near Dover, we've got a cold front back to the west, and that is squeezing out some of these showers. Here's the cold front, but the good news with this front, it'll continue to push Hurricane Franklin out to sea, now packing winds of 110 miles per hour. Obviously, we're seeing the building rip currents and the waves. Showers and storms possible this morning in the drivecast, but a green light for most of the cloudy skies this afternoon.
The U.S. financial regulators signed off on new rules to prepare large and regional banks for possible failure. Comes in the wake of 3 bank failures earlier this year. One draft rule would force banks to disclose more details on how they could be safely managed if they were to fail. The rules still need to be finalized after the agencies review industry feedback. Well, if you use DART buses to get around Sussex County, there could be changes coming, and some of those changes will be reviewed in a few weeks. Following a year-long statewide transit study led by the Delaware Transit Corporation, a workshop will take place in Georgetown. DART officials say the study will look for ways to alter the bus network, along with addressing rider needs and service improvements. Workshop is set for September the 12th from 5 to 6:30 p.m., and this will take place at the Georgetown Public Library. Now, we could have waves that are a little rougher than normal resulting from the hurricanes. We're going to bring back First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey. And Bob, you've just been tracking both Franklin and Idalia all week for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll take the waves and rip currents any day over what they're seeing in Florida right now with Idalia. Really a powerful storm pounding Florida. But we're getting the indirect impacts of Franklin with building surf around 5 to 8 foot waves. The rip current danger is high from both Franklin and Idalia with time, and gusty winds 25 to 35 miles per hour plus. Here's Franklin beginning to move out to sea. It will continue to weaken as it does so as it encounters colder water. And here is Idalia about to make impact on land right around the Big Bend of Florida, packing winds of 130, gusting to 160, a powerful storm, tremendous storm surge, maybe over 12 feet as it continues to move to the northeast and then off the North Carolina coast as a tropical storm. So we're only going to see some clouds and some wind from it. I'll have much more on the tropics and your holiday forecast coming up.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. Still ahead, Blood Bank of Delmarva hosting more pop-up blood drives due to a slower summer. The need for these drives, including the one scheduled for today. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC.
Broken down AC system? Horizon has you covered with same-day repairs and next-day installs guaranteed. Don't wait. Schedule your next service online in seconds. Call, scan, or visit us at horizonservices.com.
Get in gear with Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3.
It's Free Truck Fridays, your ticket to a new 2023 Ford Ranger thanks to Pohanka Ford of Salisbury. Stay tuned to Big D and Bubba all week as they reveal the Free Truck Friday song.
Then listen to April and me to play the song. Be caller 10 and you might be parking a new 2023 Ford Ranger in your driveway.
Drive over to coastcountry.com for all the details.
Coast Country's Free Truck Fridays with Pohanka Ford of Salisbury,
where your drive to work
could upgrade your ride home.
Join us for the Run White and Blue 5K, Thursday, September 7th at Delaware Tech's Georgetown campus. Registration begins at 5, with the race starting at 6. All proceeds support scholarships for veterans and first responders. Be sure to stick around after for post-race cookout and games the whole family will enjoy. Register at go.dtcc.edu/run5k. See you at the starting line on September 7th for the Run White and Blue 5K.
Are you gonna kiss me all night? Now it is, but I believe that's how it ought to be.
103.9 and 106.3. We're local, we're Coast Country, and we're Delmarva proud.
Take your favorite radio station with you wherever you go. Download free today.
No hot water? No problem. Just call Horizon Services. We're there same day with a brand new water heater and a professional fix for any other plumbing emergency. For all of your plumbing needs, call today or visit us at horizonservices.com.
It is 6:27 this morning. Take a look at that. Okay, not too bad looking there on this Wednesday at our Gateway Subaru Cam. You're looking at Ocean City, but those clouds make it hard to see the horizon there, doesn't it?
Yeah, right now, Paige, you look at the waves.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
No.
Too bad.
Looks a little ominous.
But the clouds make it, I think, look that way.
Yes.
But, as we head into Labor Day weekend, we're tracking Idalia, we're tracking Franklin.
Yeah.
So we got those two factors going on there. Bob, at some point we'll probably get some rough waves. Again, you've been pointing out whatever we get from these things, we're fortunate compared to what Florida is about to experience.
Yeah, right now in Florida, boy, it's windy, storm surge. It's just a sad situation for them as they're getting walloped by a huge hurricane, Category 4 Idalia. And for us, we're getting the indirect effects of Franklin off to our east. So once again, we'll take waves and some rip currents. Just be safe out there the next few days. The impacts of Franklin building surf, as we just saw the waves, around 3 to 5 feet near the coast, around 8 feet offshore, and the rip current danger, the risk remains high basically for the rest of the week from Franklin and also Idalia. Gusty winds, they'll be picking up tomorrow. Pressure gradient between high pressure and Idalia, we'll see those winds in excess of 35 miles per hour. Right now it's mostly cloudy skies, areas of fog, and we're seeing some showers eastern shore of Maryland, farther to the north of Easton back into Dover as a cold front is starting to squeeze out this moisture. You can see this line of showers here. One front over us here, there's a cold front back to the west, but there's a trough digging in behind that front, and that will continue to nudge Franklin out to sea, moving to the north and east. Here's the visibility, 4 miles in Salisbury, 2.5 in Ocean City, so it is slowly improving, but use the low beam headlights. We've got temperatures in the low to mid 70s with a southwest breeze. Here's Futurecast. Could see a lingering shower or storm this morning, and then the front comes through. We start to shift the winds to the northwest, and we'll see mostly cloudy skies. Then we'll see the clouds coming up from the south, the northern fringe of Idalia, and the winds really picking up from the northeast. So a cooler day as well. Temperatures only into the 70s. Here's Franklin moving out to sea, and it will continue to weaken, moving into cold water. Idalia just about to make landfall near Cedar Key here in about the next hour or so, and winds of 130 and much higher gusts than that. Strong storm surge. It'll weaken as it moves over Florida, move into coastal Carolina, and then offshore and continue to weaken and just kind of meander around the Atlantic. You can see how it's moving up the coast. The heavy rain into North Carolina Thursday afternoon. We're on the northern fringe with the clouds in Delaware with a strong northeast wind, and then the storm is just forced to the southeast as high pressure is building in from the north and west. We'll see those winds really picking up from the northeast, gusting over 30, maybe 40 miles per hour along the coast. Small craft advisory. It's just best not to really swim or boating the next few days, as we're seeing some of the higher waves around 3 to 5 feet along the coast, certainly higher offshore. Here's your Paul Davis 7-day forecast for today. 84 morning storms, and then Thursday 74, cloudy and windy. Heading into Labor Day, boy, it is going to be beautiful. And typically after hurricanes, we see things get nice and calm. 78 Saturday, 85 Sunday, 89 on Monday, Labor Day.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Now, between emergency situations and scheduled surgeries at hospitals in our area, we are finding the need for blood is greater than the supply available at the Blood Bank of Delmarva. It's mainly due to a slow summer for donations and more no-shows than normal for appointments. The Blood Bank solution is to hold more pop-up drives that weren't originally scheduled before the end of summer. Donors at yesterday's mobile drive in Milton said they're making the time to show up. It's well worth it. The Blood Bank of Delmarva will be at Dogfish Head in Milton again later today, and that will be from 12 to 6 p.m. This does, Paige, bring us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what you think stops people from donating blood.
All right.
Not you specifically.
Yeah, I donate every once in a while. I'm able to. But yeah, what are you thinking? So 41% say, well, actually, you didn't think about it. Maybe you'll start donating. You just wasn't on your mind. That's fine. 36% saying you are ineligible. Just a reminder, they do sometimes change those requirements. So just look at the updated list online. All right, 14%, you're too busy. Okay, maybe you can make some time, and you can still vote on that poll right there. Just head to WRDE.com or our mobile app. We'll continue to show you some updated results later on today.
All right, well, after the break, Franklin making waves along our coast. Got some recommendations on how you can stay safe from these effects of the storm that are being felt in our area. We'll be right back on Coast TV News Today.
The 11th Annual True Blue Jazz Festival is coming your way October 11th through 15th. The big bands, vocal divas, the virtuoso players like Camille Thurman and the Darrell Green Quartet, Bobby Sanabria's Multiverse Latin Jazz Big Band, Jerry Weldon, Terrell Stafford, Libby York, Paula Johns, the annual Big Band Jazz Marathon, ticketed and free concerts with great local and regional jazz acts in Rehoboth Beach and Lewis, Delaware for everyone. Make plans to be there at the 11th Annual True Blue Jazz Festival. Get your tickets now. See the complete schedule at truebluejazz.org.
Oh, they're out there by the millions. And spiders, crickets, and ants are always looking for a place to call home. Look, up ahead is your home. And to them, it looks like the perfect place to settle in. Call Brazier's, and our expert technicians will establish a defensive barrier around your home that will keep out the riffraff. Our premium protection plan is guaranteed to keep spiders, crickets, and ants from moving into your home for a full year. Call Brazier's Pest Control today and say goodbye to unwanted guests.
Windsor Teak Furniture, Fairmount Island offers the world's best outdoor extension tables with 10 different versions in stock. Tables come with 2 built-in butterfly leaves that could create 3 different sized tables and allows you to open and close in 10 seconds. Tables starting at 66 inches up to 138 inches long and could seat from 6 to 16 people. We have a table for you. Drop by our showroom and smell the teak, or check us out at windsorteakfurniture.com, and remember, teak lasts a lifetime.
Performing out of space?
Yes, next July.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, I can't change these plans.
We're stealing in the sun next summer. Heist of a lifetime.
The Olympics.
Come on, you in?
Roman Reigns will defend his title against anyone, anytime. Except next July.
Hurricane Franklin making waves off of the Delmarva coast as we've been tracking. Though the storm will remain hundreds of miles offshore, we're going to be feeling its effects in the form of high surf and dangerous rip currents. Best advice is for visitors to avoid going in the water altogether. And we'll have the latest on these systems coming up as our coverage continues right here on Coast TV News. And we got some good segue into the conditions taking place today on Delmarva. Page. Cloudy.
Yeah.
Sort of, I'm going to give the same thing I said yesterday.
Okay.
The sunscreen police really won't be needed today.
I'm losing my job. That's okay. I'll lose it today because, yeah, Bob, we did see earlier on those live cams, it's cloudy start.
And then after Labor Day, the sunscreen police are off duty. Are they gone?
I'm always on duty.
And then Matt's going to be happy about that. But anyway, we do have our UV index brought to us by Face of Grace, a practice in sun safety. And we're looking at a 6 today. It's in the high range and only a 5 tomorrow as we see the clouds from Idalia. But then we get into very high conditions Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So when it's in the 5 and 6 range, SPF 30 or plus and some shade and also limit time outdoors. But when we get into the very high range, make sure you use that higher SPF. It's still a higher sun angle this time of year. Find the shade, limit time outdoors, and avoid the sun late morning into early afternoon. More on the tropics and the holiday weekend forecast coming up.
All right, Bob, thank you much. Also ahead on Coast TV News today, take a look at these photos. That horrific crash there. Police have identified the woman killed in that crash in Georgetown over the weekend. What police are saying about the other people who were involved.
This is the 2023 Nissan Rogue. With a surprisingly fuel-efficient VC turbo engine, you can go from 0 to fun in no time and leave basic far behind.
Get a low $309 per month lease on Rogue.
Calling all truckers. Rigs from across the U.S. roll into town to be a part of the 21st Annual Truck Convoy for Special Olympics, Saturday, September 23rd. Over 200 trucks take a police-escorted ride from the Delaware State Fairgrounds and parade throughout southern Delaware. All proceeds benefit thousands of athletes who train and compete year-round here in Delaware. Participants must be pre-registered by September 18th. For more info and to register, visit SODE.org.
McDonald's, Telemundo Delmarva 42, Pohanka of Salisbury, Lupton Mall, and the Voice Radio Network presents the Hispanic Festival 2023. Join us to celebrate the Latin American traditions, culture, dances, art, Latin American food, kids entertainment, 7 international artists, and the biggest taco festival in Georgetown. Sunday, September 17th at noon on Ray Street in Georgetown. Tickets are $15 and kids under 10 get in free. Sponsored by...
You have the power to leave the world a little better than you found it. You have the power to live a more carefree life. You have the power to make your home more energy efficient and less costly to operate. Solar from Clean Energy USA can give you that power. With over 14 years of experience and thousands of systems installed, solar power is more attainable than ever with generous incentives making it less costly than you may think. Contact Clean Energy USA today to get your power.
This is the 2023 Nissan Rogue. With a surprisingly fuel-efficient VC turbo engine, you can go from 0 to fun in no time and leave basic far behind.
Get a low $309 per month lease on Rogue.
From the beaches to the bay, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV News Today. Your morning news starts right now.
It is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Paige Marley.
6:38 a.m. as we make our way on this Wednesday morning. This is a morning where we're not expecting any big impacts here from those storms, but we are mindful of those hurricanes.
Definitely. We've been keeping an eye on them all week. I'm sure most of the country has as well, as they especially head to Florida. Yeah, we will feel some of those effects, so we'll send things over to First Alert Meteorologist Bob Trihey. He joins us now as you prepare for your day. Hey there, Bob.
Hey there, good morning, Paige and Matt. Indirect effects from Idalia and Franklin, and right now we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. We've got some foggy conditions and showers moving on to the eastern shore of Maryland up into Kent County and Dover. Also a few light showers around Cambridge right now. Nothing in the way of thunder nearby, but we have a stationary boundary here and then a cold front back to the west, and that will enhance the showers. And here's Franklin moving out to sea, but then here is Idalia about to make landfall the next 45 minutes or so as a powerful Category 4 hurricane. So pray for Florida that they get through this okay. Temperatures now into the low to mid 70s close to home. We do have areas of fog too and light winds, and about 3 miles in Ocean City, 5 miles in Salisbury. So the visibility is coming up. Could still see a shower as we go into the morning hours. We'll see the cold front come through and then lower 80s this afternoon, and we'll keep the skies mostly cloudy. Day part forecast, fog early, then clouds, and then some sun, and temperatures into the mid-80s.
All right, thank you so much, Bob. Tonight, one of the fastest growing towns in Delaware, taking a look at how to manage that rapid development.
An open house in the town of Millsboro starting its conversation to the public about its comprehensive development plan. That is where we find Coast TV News reporter Heidi Kurtz. She is live in Millsboro, and Heidi, the plan is a roadmap for a future of growth.
Matt and Paige, some people call Millsboro the heart of Sussex County. I'm going to take you over this way and have you look at the downtown district. There's quite a bit down here. Lots of businesses, restaurants, and outside of this area, quite a bit of development. Go ahead and take a look at your screens. You're going to see some footage that we've shot in this area in the last few days. You're going to see some of that development, the vibrant downtown district, many businesses, and again, development in every which way. And managing that development is key here. The Comprehensive Development Plan is a document released every 10 years that serves as a roadmap for how to successfully grow. We're almost halfway through the current plan and checking in to make sure they're meeting the goals. Some of the areas the town's working on improving are traffic, walkability, and green space. And it says its strengths are strong leadership, a growing number of workers, and low crime. I spoke with town manager Jamie Burke, who says there's something that makes this growth unique in the last several years.
Even with COVID and a lot of the slowdown we've seen throughout the state, region, and nation, we didn't see that here. Even with rising interest rates, we're not seeing slowing with housing starts, mainly because a good chunk of the people that move here are moving here from other states. A lot of them are selling their homes for cash, bringing that cash here.
Matt and Paige, the town wants people like you to get involved in this conversation. They're going to have that open house tonight starting at 6 p.m. at Town Hall in Millsboro, and we have more information on our website, WRDE.com. Back to you.
All right, Heidi, thank you so much.
All right, and police moving on, and they've identified the young woman killed in a horrific crash over the weekend as 18-year-old Griselda Ramirez Chalel. You can see the pictures on the screen that we're going to show you. They're right there about this crash.
Yeah, absolutely tragic. That crash happened around 11:30 a.m. It was on DuPont Boulevard, south of West Robbins Road in Georgetown. Police say Ramirez Chalel was in the front passenger seat of that car. It was driven by a 39-year-old woman.
According to troopers, the driver swerved, drove through the center median, and then crashed into another car. Police say Ramirez Chalel was taken to an area hospital with serious injuries, and that is where she later died. Behind her in the car, there was a 4-year-old boy, also had serious injuries from that crash. The people in the other car, well, they're expected to be okay. Still more to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up on Coast TV News today, the Point at Cape Henlopen State Park is set to reopen Friday. What stretch of the park will reopen for you and your family to enjoy?
Fleischer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva.
We salute Chief Derek Harvey of the Milton Police Department. With over 25 years of experience, Chief Harvey stands as a beacon of unwavering integrity, leadership, and commitment. Notably in Milton, he ascended from lieutenant to captain in 2019 and has served as both a K-9 officer and acting chief. His dedication extends beyond the police, having been an influential figure in the Milton Volunteer Fire Department since 1998, rising to the rank of fire chief in 2018.
If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Get in gear with Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3.
It's Free Truck Fridays, your ticket to a new 2023 Ford Ranger thanks to Pohanka Ford of Salisbury. Stay tuned to Big D and Bubba all week as they reveal the Free Truck Friday song.
Then listen to April and me to play the song. Be caller 10 and you might be parking a new 2023 Ford Ranger in your driveway.
Drive over to coastcountry.com for all the details.
Coast Country's Free Truck Fridays with Pohanka Ford of Salisbury,
where your drive to work
could upgrade your ride home. Welcome to the Ride Home on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. First rule of the ride home, we definitely talk about the ride home. In fact, tell all your friends. Second rule of the ride home, we have fun. Top 10 Tuesday, Would You Rather Wednesday, and every day you pick the songs on the High Five. And the third rule of the ride home, we don't take ourselves too seriously. You've got enough to stress about. So let me handle the ride home, weekdays from 3 to 7 on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3.
Wheel of Fortune has been part of your life for over 40 years, with Pat and Vanna leading the way for every wheel spinning, money-winning moment. A brand new season with all new episodes starting in September.
Celebrating 41 years of excitement.
New season starting September on Coast TV.
WRDE weather brought to you by Window World of Delmarva, simply the best for less.
Window World, the #1 replacement window company, specializes in roofing too. Save $500 off a new CertainTeed roofing system, which offers heavier shingles for better protection and durability. Many colors to choose from. 0% financing available for 18 months. Superior products, professionally installed at a guaranteed low price.
No matter the size of the project, you can trust Window World of Delmarva to get it done right.
Call now for a free estimate today.
Coming up on 646 on our Wednesday morning. It looks like the fog is lifting. Dry Tech Camp 75 in Ocean City. Your visibility improving, as is other locations too. Earlier we were below a mile, now about 3 to 5 miles in haze and fog. We've got temperatures in the 70s right now with mostly cloudy skies. Some showers moving onto the eastern shore of Maryland. These are light right now. We've got a cold front that is pressing through. We can see the heavier storms off to the north, and some of these showers will be coming through, I think, as we go through the morning hours. So on the UV index brought to us by Face of Grace, we have a 6 today because of the clouds, even a 5 tomorrow because of the clouds and wind, but then it's up to an 8 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday heading into the holiday weekend. So when it gets high, the higher SPF, midday shade, limit time outdoors, and avoid the sun late morning into early afternoon. I'll have an update on the tropics and have more on your holiday weekend forecast coming up.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Just one more sleep until the return of high school football season here on Delmarva. We start the year with Laurel at Sussex Central tomorrow night. Now, a lot of focus has been on the Bulldogs' jump up to 2A football this year. Sure, the Dogs are back-to-back 1A state champions, but the program lost a number of all-district stars, including quarterback Caden Shockley. Now Laurel's turning to its returning leaders on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. And fifth-year head coach Joey Jones says Laurel's depth is something fans can be excited about all season long.
I think this year we're going to have a little bit more depth. We got more guys that can contribute, not just, one or two. I know Caden and Kylie's last year had over 3,000 yards combined, had over 50 touchdowns combined. I think it's going to be a little more even across the board. We're going to be spreading it to different guys, some younger guys, some seniors that have played a lot but haven't necessarily gotten all the attention, and some juniors and sophomores that are rising through that, people aren't aware of. So excited for those opportunities and great kids who have seen a lot of high-level football, and now it's just their turn.
Those Bulldogs are going to get an immediate test against the Golden Knights tomorrow. Central's coming off an 8-3 season and a 3A playoff appearance. We'll have kickoff from Georgetown at 7 p.m. Coverage begins right here in the Wawa Studios at 6:30 tomorrow night. That'll do it for sports this morning.
We're dealing with gray skies this morning, even some areas of fog. At least we're not dealing with a landfalling hurricane like Florida is. And we'll be talking about Franklin and Idalia coming up. And we'll talk about the indirect effects on us and have the latest on your holiday weekend forecast coming up after the break.
Take aim for a great cause with Women Supporting Women's Boom Boom for Boobies clay shooting fundraiser on September 16th at 8:30 a.m. Whether you're 16 or seasoned, join the friendly competition and rally against breast cancer. Plus, enjoy fantastic music, raffles, a 50-50 draw, and more. Register now for 50 clays, lunch, and an event hat. Non-shooter, we've got a lunch ticket just for you. For more info, visit womensupportingwomen.org. Coast Country Cares, presented by Spicer Brothers.
Delmarva's Classic Rock. Big 107.7.
Summertime. No, honey, I'm good. I could have another, but I probably should not. When I met you in the summer.
He was a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy. Can't read my, no, we can't read my poker face.
Sunkissed Summer Mixtape on 102.5 WBOC.
Brought to you by Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Delmarva Home Show. Explore the hidden house gems here on the peninsula. Exciting tours of stunning homes, charming cottages, and luxurious beachfront properties. Designer ideas and insider tips to help inspire your home decor. Discover the best of Delmarva's architecture and interior design. A showcase of the most unique and beautiful homes on Delmarva. Start your tour Sunday mornings at 11:30 on WBOC.
Delmarva's rock station for 35 years. 93.5 The Beach.
We're dealing with two hurricanes this morning, one now making landfall in Florida, Idalia and Franklin off of our coast, but we've got the indirect effects of Franklin. Make sure you scan the QR code right there. That will get you to the Coast TV weather app. You can track the storms, any kind of weather going on across the country or Delmarva. Building surf from Franklin, 5 to 8 feet is what we're looking at. 5 closer to shore, 8 offshore. Rip current danger, as we've been talking about, is high now. It will continue to be high the rest of the week from Franklin. Also, Idalia, gusty winds Thursday, 25 to 35 miles per hour plus. But right now, we're dealing with some fog, mostly cloudy skies. We're seeing some showers now ahead of a cold front up into Kent County around Dover, back into the eastern shore of Maryland, and even some heftier storms into Pennsylvania. There's a cold front there, and that's going to save us from Franklin. Continue to push it offshore. We were seeing a few more showers across Maryland. Here's Franklin now, beginning to weaken, but still packing winds of 110 as it's moving over colder water. Visibility closer to home, down to 2.5 miles in Ocean City, so use the low beam headlights. We've got temperatures in the 70s. Winds are light now, but they're going to be picking up with time. Here's Futurecast this morning. A lingering shower or thunderstorm. Cold front comes through. We're looking at temperatures in the 80s this afternoon. Then we're going to see clouds tonight. These are the cirrus clouds from Idalia, and we're going to see stronger northeast winds tomorrow. Cooler temperatures in the 70s. Pressure grading between high pressure and Idalia moving offshore. And we're looking at, once again, Franklin moving off to the northeast right now. It'll weaken in the colder water. Here's Idalia about to make landfall. Big Bend of Florida here in the next half hour or so around Cedar Key. Packing winds of 130, gusts to 160. They could see storm surge over 12 feet. And then we're going to be looking at a lot of wind and a lot of rain as it moves on shore. And then it weakens and parallels the South Carolina coast and then moves offshore off of North Carolina. And you can see the heavy rain through time right up through North Carolina, the northern fringe near Norfolk. We're in the clouds and we're in the northeast wind up here as Idalia starts to go offshore. And we're going to be seeing those stronger winds for sure, gusting over 30 miles per hour at times, maybe even up to 40 at times. Here's your Paul Davis 7-day forecast. forecast. 84 today with the showers and storms this morning. 74 Thursday, cloudy, windy, and then heading into the holiday weekend, as is the case a lot of times after hurricanes, it quiets down. 78 Saturday, 85 Sunday. Monday, mostly sunny. Labor Day, 89.
Thanks, Bob. A stretch of the ocean, beach, and dunes at Cape Henlopen State Park will reopen on Friday, September 1st. Bayside Beach will remain closed until October 1st. Denrex says the beach is closed last March in an effort to protect endangered beach nesters and migratory shorebirds. Now let's go to the pet of the day.
All right, it's 6:54, so of course it's that time. We're checking in with our pet of the day. It's always brought to you by Maggie's Pet Boutique.
And we are out of the dog days of summer, and if you listen to Paige, it's time to start enjoying fall festivals. We're going to take a look at today's pet. It's Gabriel, still soaking up all that warm weather. On your screen right now, laying out on the deck and tuning in to Coast TV News Today for the latest. We'll be back right after this.
McDonald's, Telemundo Delmarva 42, Pohanka of Salisbury, Lupton Mall, and the Voice Radio Network presents the Hispanic Festival 2023. Join us to celebrate the Latin American traditions, culture, dances, art, Latin American food, kids entertainment, 7 international artists, and the biggest taco festival in Georgetown. Sunday, September 17th at noon on Ray Street in Georgetown. Tickets are $15 and kids under 10 get in free. Sponsored by
summertime.
You never know who you're helping by sharing your story. Showing girls that anything is possible.
Don't let nobody hold you down.
Teachers make all the difference in the world.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, Season 2, September 18th.
I love a good surprise. Oh my God! See, the people, they're here for you. Ladies, let's go.
Wait a minute!
New season coming September 18th to Coast TV.
You're the science guy.
That's Bill Nye. I'm actually the behavioral science guy. Are you familiar with predictable irrationality? Paradoxical persuasion. Retrospective framing. Attentional blindness. Bereavement sex. That's a thing.
Nothing irrational about that.
Understanding human nature can be a superpower, which is why the FBI ends up calling me.
Did you really help the Rams win the Super Bowl?
Well, that was a risky experiment, but it worked out for them.
Weather-wise, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies right now. We've got some showers out there, eastern shore of Maryland up into Kent County, and we will be seeing these showers with the cold front as they move through this morning, and we're looking at temperatures in the 70s. I think we'll see some sunshine this afternoon and warming into the 80s. Here's your Paul Davis 10-day forecast. 84 today and then 74. We're going to be seeing the clouds from Idalia. Also, some wind as well, over 35 miles per hour. Looking at 74 degrees heading into the holiday weekend. Friday, 76, and we're going to quiet things down for the weekend. 78 sunshine Saturday. We're looking at 85 on Sunday. Labor Day, 89 and even up to 90 as we go into Tuesday.
90s are back, Bob. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us here on Coast TV News Today.
Today's show is coming up next with our coverage of Hurricane Idalia.
Yep, and we'll be back as always with Coast TV News midday at 11, so stick with us.
Right, and for even more news and coverage you can count on, you can download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Wednesday morning, everybody.